So you can say in solids, the particles, they are closely pegged together in a regular pattern. In a regular pattern. Right. The other point is they cannot move freely or vibrate freely. They cannot move freely or vibrate freely. They cannot move freely or vibrate freely. They cannot move freely or vibrate freely because they are closely walled together. Because they are closely walled together. Because they are closely held together. Right. And this explains why solids like bricks have a fixed shape. And this explains why solids like bricks have a fixed shape. And this explains why solids like bricks have a fixed shape. Right. So I can demonstrate to you. So the particles, like, they are closely packed together like this. You know, they don't have what? You know, they are closely packed together. So you would say that in a liquid, the particles, they are not all that closely packed together, and in a gas, the particles, they are further apart, they move freely. So the next thing that we want to talk about is what? Liquids. We want to talk about liquids. So write this, liquids. So you can say in a liquid, the particles are closely packed, but they are further apart. So in a liquid, the particles, of course, they are closely packed together, but they are further apart as compared to what? Solids. Right? Yeah, they are closely packed together, but then they are further apart. Right? And matter in a liquid is able to flow. Right? And matter in a liquid is able to flow. That is why if you put like water and everything, you see it like flowing. You understand? It's different from like a solid. A solid, it doesn't move. It can only move when it's actually put out together. Right. So we are saying matter is able to what? To flow. And again, the other property of a liquid, it will take the shape of a container. Right? It will take the shape of a what? Of a container. It will take the shape of a container. So it will take the shape of a container, right? It will take the shape of a container. For example, if don't write example, I'm just giving an example. If you pour like if right now we can take a cup, right, and pour water, that water will take the what? The shape of the what? Of that cup, right? You see that liquid that is poured in a bottle of Coke, it will take that what? The shape of the container, right? And then we have already mentioned that the particles are closely packed together, right? But you can also say they've got no fixed shape, right? That they've got no fixed shape. Right? They've got no fixed shape, and the particles move around each other. The particles move around each other. Particles move around each other, right? But then you can also write they have a fixed volume. They have a fixed volume, right? They have a what? A fixed volume. That's the other property of a liquid. They've got a what? A fixed volume. Yeah, a volume. Right. So what we are saying is like, if you buy your 1 liter of Coke, right? If you transfer that 1 liter of Coke to another container, it will still have what? It will still be what? 1 liter, right? As long as you do not pour it down or if you do not drink it. Are we together? Right. Whether you can even share it into 2 containers of 500 ml, 500 ml, but then the volume will not what? Change. So now the third thing that I want to talk about is gases, right? Gas. Right. Gases, right, they don't have, so you can say they do not have a fixed shape, and they do not have fixed shape, and matter in the gas state, right? Matter in the gas state fills the available space. You understand? Matter in the gas state fills the available space around it. Fills the available space around it. Right. The next point, the particles in a gas are far apart. The particles in a gas, they are far apart. The particles in a gas, they are what? They are far apart. They are far apart. They are far apart, meaning there is a lot of space between the particles. There is a lot of space between the particles. Right. Between the particles. Right. So you can also write air is a gas. Air is a gas that fills the room. You see, air is a gas that fills the room. Like, if we go to that room, right? Or if you go in my bedroom, right? You would see that air, right? It fills the what? The whole room. You always get some air there. You always get some oxygen, right? And what we're also saying is like it can also fill in a balloon, right? You can put air in a balloon, like on birthday parties, people they put air in balloons and the like, right? Or it can even fill a balloon, or it can fill the whole atmosphere. You understand? That is why we are saying gases, they do not have a fixed shape. They take the shape of their surroundings. They can fill a room, they can fill everywhere. You understand? Right. So when you are drawing the particles of a gas, for a liquid, they are different from solids. For a liquid, they are not that much together, right? And then for gas, they are further what? Apart. Are we together? So that's the difference between what? Solids, liquids, and gases. Are we together?